The Social Democratic Front will have to look for strategies on how to effectively sell the symbols and signs of their ballot papers to the different electorates. This is after the Constitutional Council rejected the petition on the PU's candidate Serge Espoir Matumba, claiming that he pirated some of the symbols on his ballot papers. And equally, the Constitutional Council equally threw out the petition filed by Issa Chiruma Bakari, the candidate for the Cameroon National Salvation Front, equally accusing the UDC of a similar situation. And of course, Akere Muna's petition was equally thrown out yesterday, Friday, where he was seeking the disqualification of President Paul Biya as candidate for the October 12, 2025 elections. Plus, the G20 has grown over time, and this week, a number of 35 political parties came out again to say they are standing solidly behind President Paul Biya in the upcoming presidential election. And today we are asking question: what is the motivation on the newcomers coming in to join the drums of praise singing and support for President Paul Biya? And of course, what will be the impact on the field? This will constitute our package in today's edition of 360 Degrees. Stay with us. You're welcome back. We are coming live from the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, and we shall be communing with you for the next 1 hour on these very topical issues. We have some gentlemen in the house, of course, that we shall be dwelling on the two topics on our table today. I have Lionel Kungaba. Lionel is a NEC member of the Social Democratic Front. Lionel, you're welcome.
Good day, Hyson. Good day to all our viewers. Good day to all Cameroonians who are aiming to change Cameroon up come October 12, 2025. It's a pleasure to us be on this panel, and we hope within the frame time that we have, we'll be capable to enlighten Cameroonians on issues that have been raised.
Of course, pleasure is shared. I have Mr. John Niba. Mr. John Niba, first of all, is a teacher. He likes to be identified with that first before anything that has to do with politics, and he doubles as a political analyst, and he is here today to equally share his inputs on the topics of today. Mr. John Niba, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Good afternoon to all the millions of viewers of Canal International, and a particular good afternoon to the family, those children that were freed in the Fano region by our brave soldiers. Yeah. We want to laud that effort and to ask those in Bamenda to copy the professionalism of the Fano, rather than killing a pregnant woman because she cried for help. They can as well copy the professionalism. I want to say here that the Northwest and Southwest, the citizens there are Cameroonian with equal rights, and then they cannot be treated as if they were people begging to belong, because we have the impression that the behavior of our men and women in uniform in that part of the country resembles the behavior of the colonial military in the days when Cameroon was fighting for independence. Okay,
contrary to what we had on our flyer announcing that Professor Ngole will be here today, we are sorry that at the nick of time he couldn't make it, but then we have somebody from the ruling party, the CPDM. Blake Nsangu Yakubu is a communicator at the Central Committee of the CPDM. You're welcome.
Good day, Mr. Hyson. Good day to all the viewers of Canal. It is a pleasure for me being once again on this platform in order to talk about issues concerning our political party, and I also like to give kudos to all the militants and sympathizers of the CPDM, and especially to those defending our party, our candidate at the constitutional, our lawyers at the Constitutional Council, and then Professor Elvis Ngolengole is also working in line with the lawyers in order to stabilize our defense arguments against all those who are coming in to destabilize our candidate, President Pobia.
Okay, thank you so much. Everything being equal, we shall be having Professor Tita Fon Samuel, who is one of the new members of the G20. He will be joining us soon. Lionel, before we get into our major topics of today, yes, he was making mention of the kidnap in the far north region. That disturbed Cameroonians a lot throughout this week. Your take on such a very unfortunate situation?
I think we should know that all citizens have the right to be protected by the state. Yeah. It's unacceptable that children known, not only them, they are kidnapped with the driver and many other people, and along the line, the driver is released with others and the children are kept hostage. We saw how the mother was disturbed, how she was in shock, and how she even went at the agency because nothing was being done. We had to go vocal for the government to even say something, and nothing concrete was said.
But action was taken.
They only told us that the children were freed by the bee. They should learn to do what we call crisis communication.
Okay.
I think those are some of the things that appease people, make people not to think otherwise. You saw people abroad, Cameroonians in the diaspora, who mobilized the population, and in less than 24 hours they raised the 6 million that they raised. They hosted the money that was asked by the kidnappers. Before the bee released the children, the money was already available. Whereas if you use opportunities like that to make their political propaganda. Okay. We saw how politicians went there, called her, visited her, but no concrete action. Only one of them gave money according to what we saw on social media. You cannot see a woman in such situation, you go to her, what you think to do is to snap pictures, videos, and publish on social media. Please, there is time for birds and there is time for sympathy.
Okay, thank you. Yakubu?
Thank you very much for that very important question. I would first like to give kudos to our forces of defense and security who did a wonderful job in order to release those children. And what I would like to say is that even when we are not even a silence is a form of communication.
Okay, it's strategic.
Yeah, it's a strategy because communication, even when you don't say anything, you are communicating. Because people will expect the government to come and say, okay, we have sent this number of soldiers on the terrain, they are already doing this, they are at this level. No, the government, the army does not work like that, unfortunately. That is why everybody is waiting that at times when there is anything on social media, the government should come and communicate so that it should be interpreted. No, there are times where the government will have to work silently, and then what we need is we need results, and then the result that we were in need of, we saw it yet at the exact time, and then I think they really did their best, and we have to congratulate them instead of coming back and saying, you know, why was there no communication? No, the army does not communicate like in their operations like any other organization.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joniba. Briefly, please, before we move to our...
Okay, briefly, I would like to say that we are used to this Bafia dance and the lies-telling mechanism of the CPDM. Let me quote instances where ministers have communicated. When Mr. Roland Wane was kidnapped and taken to Nigeria, we saw Minat. We saw ministers came out and communicated.
It started by the governor of Southwest.
And the family was comforted and the trauma was reduced. you know that at least they started listening to you. It is very good for somebody to come and sit here. Please, it's my time to talk. It's my time to talk.
Please let him finish.
Listen, my brother.
Please let him finish, please.
Listen, my brother. You are talking like that because it was not your child, it's not your mother, nor your father. You can come and give lessons here. Let me tell you that there are times that when that woman was desperate, she needed comfort coming from the state. Assurance. And let me make it clear to your government, who will take the glory, that if those children were saved, is because the token that Mr. Issa Chiruma sent, the woman first of all deposited it, and then they now say, okay, since you have given advance, the following day, if you don't complete the money, that's from the woman's own interview directly. Okay. If you don't complete the money, we are going to kill the last, because we should make it clear here that the eldest was killed. Up to today, the family has not yet had the corpse. And so if they delayed until maybe the forces liberated the children because of what Issa Chiruma gave to the family that they sent to those people. Okay, thank you, Mr. John Niba. We want to call on the managers of traveling agencies and the parents to exercise and caution. The road, Mr. Chairman, the road is even the problem. When the car is stuck in mud and people have to go down and push, the road to Kuseri, Kuseri to Marwa, they used to pay, one moment was 6,000 francs and it was taking about 4 hours. Now it's 20,000 francs and you may take 2 days. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we were just saying that the management of different traveling agencies and the parents should be cautious enough this time around that the students and pupils are coming back from holidays to prepare for school next month. Gentlemen, before we get into our first major topic of the day, let's take a reminder with this report on the petitions at the Constitutional Council.
Le Conseil déclare la requête du candidat aussi irrecevable.
About 20 minutes of hearing of Joshua Osi's petition, candidates of the Social Democratic Front against Serge Espoir Matumba and Pius Elekam and Minat on the usage of similar symbols, Lemang Atangana and the Constitutional Council rejecting the appeal on basis that it is filed after the deadline.
Le cas ne peut même pas être examiné au fond, simplement parce que c'est au plus tard le 28 juillet 2025 que la cause aurait dû être portée devant le Conseil constitutionnel.
A decision that does not go down well with the SDF.
If the Constitutional Council is unable to handle this issue because they claim that it came after the due time of 2 days after the notification of the list. Meanwhile, this candidate, at the time of the notification of the list, his color was blue. But now when he discovered that the SDF has a rose color and that the candidate of the SDF has a white dress with a fist up, he changed his color to red and wore a white dress and took his fist up. And the Constitutional Council is unable to handle this. This fellow is aware of the fact that he can use the structures of the SDF. He can use the ignorance of the parents who will go to vote for the SDF, who will not be able to distinguish. Because now the only thing that may distinguish the face of the candidate.
Same for the case of the candidate of the Cameroon National Salvation Front Party, Issa Chiruma Bakari, who petitioned the council on similar issue of copied colors by the UDC. But in less than 10 minutes of examining the file, the council simply rejected, and the plaintiff was not even present to plead his case.
Lionel, let me begin with you. At what level did you notice that your ballot papers had similar features with that of Pius?
It's on social media that we realize it. Okay. I think there are a lot of lapses in the electoral code which has to be handled. That's why you see all the time we always focus on amending this electoral code. You cannot give the name of the candidates and you expect them to come and give the colors and their symbols after. Because when you give those that time, there is no more time, because the deadline that was given for candidates to deposit their color at Elekam was 31st. But the deadline that they are asking at Constitutional Council that we ought to file our case was 28. You see, there is 3 days after. So it's just when he received the notification on the 28th that his candidacy has been validated, that he went and changed the blue color of 2018 that we used to know to a red that is similar to the rose that we use, went and changed the suit that he did the same in 2018, and this time around he had to raise his hand up as we do in the SDF. But we think at a certain moment there are things that ELECAM has to handle immediately they see. Yes, because a political party is a very serious structure. A serious structure in such a way that when you want to do changes of colors, symbols, it is written, it is well noted down. Those are the things that we think should be taken into consideration when it comes to this particular case. We want to say the SDF is very clear. Our adversary at this election is Mr. Bia and the CPDM. If any political party is fighting the SDF, that is their problem. And we think the population and every other people taking part in this election are seen and they will take their own decisions.
When political parties were called off for final validation of ballot gadgets and all that, didn't you notice it at that time?
Political parties were called up to drop their final validation, they were not sitting together.
Okay.
So each party came and dropped his colors and his and the pictures that they wanted for the ballot box
and left.
Yes, and left. And it's only when samples were given out, which was 3 days after the deadline that the Constitutional Council is asking of, and those samples were given out 3 days after. That's 72 hours after. So what we had to do was just to file immediately, and the same day we saw it, which ELECAM sent it out, we filed that case at the Constitutional Council, which is normal.
Okay, Mr. John Neba, you are reading of this action, different political parties on the verge of having similar futures on the ballot papers. Just coincidence, or you are reading?
No, in politics,
seems to look at it like a calculated game.
In politics, I cannot consider it as coincidence. We see them as some blows under the belt. And unfortunately, the referee is non-reliable upon.
Okay.
I know fully well that before the SDF and any other person went in front of that Constitutional Council, they knew, first of all, the deadline had passed. This time around, it was not the fault of the Constitutional Council. And so, being a party that will have to come to power and reinforce the law, they needed to try to negotiate with maybe Espoir. So the two of them, like opposition, could see the inconvenience that can hamper them from removing a common opponent. I thought that was supposed to be a gentleman way of
I was about to ask you that when you are done, if they tried negotiating at the background before.
I don't know whether they did that, but knowing fully well that the Constitutional Council, for some of us in the civil society, we know that the Constitutional Council is there, starting from its president, who participated in calling for the motion of support that President Power should stand again. The Constitutional Council cannot disturb anybody who
when you
may
say he participated, it is an overstatement, Mr. John Neba. Please. It is said that he was spotted.
Listen, he was not spotted.
Please.
And participate.
My brother, let me make something clear.
Participation means you are taking action.
But he was
participation means this.
Mr. Leo, please let him know.
This program is 1 hour.
Yes.
If John Neba came here and wrote his name on the attendance list and then left before the end, and at the end, any decisions that are taken, John Neba's name is on the attendance list, so he's a member.
Right on, Mr. Neba.
An intellectual and a renowned lawyer like Mr. Clement, and I shouldn't have attended. Oh, please, shouldn't have attended a meeting without knowing what they'll be saying there and the content, and especially when he knows that the law organizing the Constitutional Council puts them on their guards.
Back to the major issue, Mr. John Neba.
So, when I say this, it is because all the other proceedings, all the other decisions that have been taken at the council go ahead to corroborate the fact that Mr. Clement actually wanted President Povia to be candidate. starting from the Maurice Kamto saga right down to this little issue. But I think that political parties should be wise enough. Don't expect anything to come from the Constitutional Council. It is a curse to this nation. Rather, you people can talk together and sort out trivial issues like this. But now you still have the campaign. During the campaign train, that's the only thing you are left with. You have to school your sympathizers on the differences. They feel that because it's really thin, differences that exist.
And I was asking you the question,
please,
that is
we have 1 week campaign. Instead of presenting what we propose, 2 weeks campaign, instead of presenting what we are proposing for change in Cameroon, we should be there schooling them on which ballot paper to choose.
No, your paper will be up. You don't have any choice. They impose it on you.
Mr. Johnny, before I take the mic from you, I still come back with my question. Is this a calculated game?
Of course, it is a calculated game. There are people who are out for change, and there are people who are out to change their personal lives. They don't care if the masses suffering around them, if they roads, if there is education, if there is health, they don't care. They are caring about themselves. And we think that if a political party were to sit down and steal the colors of another political party, this political party should be treated like one of those who are out for their personal gain and not for the change.
Still, we talked to...
the SDF is existing things, and their colors are well known, and the logo, power to the people, is well known. Somebody who uses it is a thief.
No, you cannot call somebody a thief here, because maybe it just coincided, because when we talked to...
We call it copywork.
We talked to the different parties, and they tried giving us the differences with the two political parties, be it the logo, be it whatsoever. So you cannot, I say, you cannot call somebody here a thief. Maybe for something that he did unknowingly.
Just for 1 second, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
The political party, Pew should be worried too that their own militants may make a mistake and vote for SDF, but they are not worried because they are the thieves.
No, I say again, please, you don't call them thieves. Maybe, yes, before we shall get to the petition filed against President Pobia, just your reaction on the Pew's SDF saga.
Yes, Mr. Hyson, you come to realize that this is how, when you look at what opposition parties are doing, you come to understand that Cameroonians, they are always confusing Cameroonians. That is why at the end of the day, they come to realize that even though President Biya is being accused of, because the only argument most of these people...
only accused?
The only argument most of these people are, the opposition is holding to Cameroonians is only the age of the President of the Republic. They have nothing as
the bad roads are also his age.
Please, Mr.
The insecurity, the war in the north and south is age.
Mr. John Neva, you had your time to talk, please, and I will give you back.
Coming to Cameroonians for change cannot even sit together and they discuss and bring out a unique symbol or a unique identity in order to confuse the population.
Who says it should
they are always there confusing Cameroonians. That is why, at the end of the day, any normal Cameroonian will come to understand that
how come the CPDM is the one advising us? How can CPDM be the one advising us to come together?
Lionel, we are rather chopping time. I will give you time to talk, please.
The only clean and clear choice for Cameroonian that is very visible is the President.
Void of confusion.
Is President Pobia, because only there in the opposition there is a lot of confusion. Any normal Cameroonian cannot sit and then they have confidence in. We were talking about Matomba in 2018. He had a blue color. Today he's coming back to yellow. I don't know. To red. Tomorrow we will see another. That is a lot of those are confusions. The CDU is having whether it's white or tomorrow they will come back with another symbol. The day after tomorrow you come to realize that at the end of the day the only candidate. When you look at all these 12 candidates, the others are just there to confuse Cameroonians, to position themselves. Because if they were there for the good of Cameroonians, why is it that you see somebody, you people have the same objective you want to attain? Why can't you sit together and say, okay,
they don't have the same objective?
They have the same objective, which is to remove, which is
you don't define their objectives.
How can CPDM be the one? How can CPDM be the one to define the objectives?
The objective of the
CPDM may be similar, but not the same.
The objective of Pobia, which is CPDM, is to maintain the power.
Yes.
And the objective of any normal opposition party is to have the power.
Yes.
It means that they have the same target. Why is it that you people have the same target? The well-being of Cameroonians is also their objective. It's a common goal now.
So you have to already.
The way of having the power differs from one political party to another. SDF wants to get power. Pews wants to get power. UDC wants to get power. So they may have something similar, but
that is why
their roadmap is not the same. Lionel, I was about to ask you, it is true that since 1990, all Cameroonians, both the young and the old, know that raising of the hand is a thing of the SDF, like power to the people. Now, Pews argues that there is no legal ownership of that particular action. Does the SDF have the legal ownership of maybe what you are accusing of Pews of?
Saying that there is a legal ownership, I will say no.
Okay.
But there is a natural ownership.
Okay.
When you pass around, you raise your hand and you say nothing. If you raise your right hand and
everybody
you say nothing,
says Nijon Fundi.
They will just say power to the people, or they will say Fundi. Or I'm telling you, or they will say SDF.
It means that the SDF also copy it from Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
We are within the Cameroonian
context.
We are within the Cameroonian context.
We are talking of it's a close vacuum.
So a political party in South Africa will confuse and vote a party in Cameroon. What type of CPDM man is this?
So when you know this was a symbol that was used by the chairman, our former chairman, may his soul rest in peace, Nijon Fundi, and everywhere in Cameroon, each and every Cameroonian, even those who are still younger, knows that this is SDF. I want to say it's not the first time. In 2018, Matomba went and snapped a picture, similar picture as that of the chairman of the SDF, with the same colors, black suit, white shirt, the same color of the tie, and everything.
But the hand was down.
But the hand was down. So he realized that something came out of it in 2018. So it's better to add the hand so that things should multiply. We are not. You see, people look for ways to waste time, to distract those who are out for real change. But we are focused on the objective. And the objective is to remove Mr. Biya and the CPDM and bring Cameroonians some change. Okay. The aim of the SDF is not for an individual. The aim of the SDF is for the betterness of the entire nation. Okay. So it's very clear that this is distraction that has been brought up by Serge Matomba. He's a very good friend of mine. We discuss very well. We've had the chance to meet even out of Cameroon.
You only have political differences.
So now I'm very surprised to see that he's trying to play games, hide and seek, with the colors and the symbols of the Social Democratic Front. It was better for him just to join the party. Simply like that, and tell people that I admire the SDF and I admire
share the same vision with him?
If we don't share the same vision, why is he trying to share our symbols and our colors?
Okay. John Niba Akiremuna was on Bia's neck as well, seeking for his disqualification as candidate at this very moment. How do you read the action, especially with the timing?
Please, you give me 1 minute to react to what the CPDM representative said.
You have the mic, please.
The opposition parties are confused, they are distracting people, they are not organized. I would like to make it clear to Cameroonians here that...
Are you a member of the opposition? He's not a member of the opposition.
We are rather... So you will prevent him to talk about the opposition?
We observe, we bear your shit.
He also talks about CPDM.
He's looking at the ruling party and the opposition.
We suffer from you.
Right on, John Niba.
It is 10 years and counting. The CPDM party that is very organized is unable to organize a Congress. Even this one who is sitting here defending that party does not know why they have not been able to organize a Congress so that another person internally...
Internal
man. You are so organized that you cannot respect the text of your party.
You permit him land, I will give you time to talk.
To Cameroonians, the text of the citizens say that after every 5 years there should be a Congress so that somebody can challenge the incumbent, I mean their national president, President Paul Biya. It is 10 years today. President Paul Biya is afraid of elections in his own party. And he has withdrawn the democracy. You are right from your hands. You come here and talk to me instead of talking to him. Did you challenge him? No. That is why Leon Tele Onana was able to put his candidature because there was no Congress for 10 years today. You cannot say that. You come and accuse other political parties. Now let's go to Akere.
Let's move forward, Mr. Jordan.
Yes, I think Barrister Kerimuna, the bâtonnier, the ex-bâtonnier, was very right and did what is, if Prof. Ngolengole was supposed to be here and if he was sincere like a prof, he would say it's a Republican action.
Okay.
What Barrister Akeremuna and all the lawyers who supported him did
Michel Ndoki and the rest
went into the annals of history because they were contesting the eligibility of President Paul Biya. I am not a lawyer, but according to the article he cited, saying that judging from the behavior of President Paul Biya has gone against the particular article. You may help us to guide us on that article. And now, we of the civil society, we observe very well that he had a case. And he knew very well that the Constitutional Council will not see with him. But it is always good to open the eyes of people and let them know.
Okay.
The first thing here is, if we mention the Congress of CPDM that has not held for 10 years, ask yourself, why is it that President Paul Biya cannot convince a Congress? Is it not because his health does not permit him to stand and talk to people like any other party that organized Congress? Tell people, you sitting there, why is he afraid for Cameroonians to see him? That's the first. There was a terrible event that happened, I think, in 2022, if I'm not making a mistake, where President Paul Biya prepared a Congress and went to the United States with a delegation. He led the delegation. And when he was announced, Paul Biya, President of Cameroon.
Please.
Mo Ibrahim was the moderator.
No, it was not that one, sir. Okay. He's not President of Cameroon. He was not aware that is him they are talking about. Somebody came to him and reminded him that it is you they are talking about, brought him there. And when President Paul Biya reached there, that was what shocked all Cameroonians. He was asking where he's in the hall. Are there important people in the hall? That is somebody who prepared a Congress or an international meeting, left Cameroon with the delegation, went to that place and does not know where he is. He does not know who are those in the hall and what they'll be talking about. What about the CEMAC conference that was supposed to hold, even the head of the CEMAC summit of head of states? It was supposed to be held this year in Cameroon. President Paul Biya was supposed to chair it. We just saw a communique that it has been postponed till further notice on a date unannounced. That is, you see how, because President Paul Biya has gone into hiding, that is how he is now putting in difficulties other member states. The CEMAC is not only Cameroon, and the decisions taken by CEMAC do not affect only Cameroon.
Okay, John.
What about the Supreme, the magistracy, the Supreme Court of Magistracy, where he has to preside over? Yeah. It is 6 years today. He has not come out. People are graduating from ENAM. Magistrates are there. They cannot determine their fate. Even 20th May, they have streamed it down. At the 20th May Boulevard, March Pass used to last for 4 hours. Now they have brought it down to 1 hour 30 minutes. And when the president arrives, we see him on the car. When he's going down, you don't see him.
But
you only see him in the circle. When he's sitting there, you don't see. They cut things according to the size of the president.
John never you see him. The bottom line is that you see him on the 20th.
That is disrespect to Cameroonians.
Other people even say he.
Okay, yes.
Other people
happy. I think it should be an atmosphere of happiness within the ranks of the CPDM that the petition was trashed out by the Constitutional Council?
No, Mr. Harrison, we realize that most of these opposition parties, opposition leaders that are going in for these elections are looking for visibility. That is why.
Are you saying that Akiremuna is looking for visibility?
Yeah, because they don't have arguments to convince Cameroonians. They don't have militants. They are only, these are strategies. They are looking for strategies in order to gain visibility, in order to have a type of sympathy. And then, yeah, that is the only thing. Because what he brought up, the only organ which is eligible in order to file in such type of this thing is the National Assembly. And it is clear, and a lawyer like him cannot tell us that he was not aware of that. That is why we concluded that it was just a way for him to, at this strategic period, in order to...
If the National Assembly is silent,
because when leaders do not have representatives in other parts of the country, they don't have militants all over the territory, they are looking for ways, strategies. Those are political strategies.
Yakubu, we are talking about the former bâtonnier of here in Cameroon.
Yeah, we are talking.
You don't expect him to behave like one lawyer that's coming out from school today.
The former bâtonnier,
yes,
he went in for the elections in 2018.
Yes.
Why is it that in 2025, if he was so stable or politically implanted in other parts of the country, why is it that he was unable to have a single municipal councillor? He was now obliged to go and make
let us get
because
has he ever gone in for municipal election?
Let us get certain
things.
Did
he go for election in 2020?
Stop telling lies.
Member of a political party.
It is not. It is true. We tell our viewers maybe the facts. Akire Muna is not a militant of, or he doesn't have a political party. He was endorsed by
a political
party Univer.
Without being a member of the Univer.
Recognized by the law of Cameroon. You have no right to
Akire Muna did not participate in the 2020 municipal and legislative election. You cannot blame him
because he's not a politician.
You cannot blame him for being unable to have elected officials, whereas he did not participate. Right on, please.
Anyway, what I was saying is that when a political party, even the Univer he's going, that he endorses him, does not have representatives all over the territory. I think they have 2 municipal or 1 municipal council or something like that. And then at this time, the only argument, the only justification we can give for this type of actions is that he's looking for visibility.
So how do you explain that President Bobia was lost in America? He didn't know where he was.
Please, John Niba.
Coming back to what Mr. John Niba was saying, this is another form of distraction. Distracting Cameroonians. Because the certain time, other people even say the President of the Republic is no longer, he died.
And they are right, because they are not seeing him.
Please, John Niba,
where is he now?
John Niba, please.
You remember, was it last year, was it in June or something like that? People, when the president left for more than 42, is
it normal to live for more than 42 and you are covering it? What type of youth is this?
Mr. John Niba, please. Mr. John
when the president
can you abandon your own family and go and stay for 42 days?
Mr. John Niba,
without people knowing where you have gone to?
Mr. John Niba, please.
That's a lack of respect for Cameroonians.
Mr. John Niba, please.
People on social media given confirmation that the president of the Republic is no longer
please, John Niba, we are rather wasting time, please.
The president of the Republic has died, he's in Switzerland, and the cops will come back and that etc. But when the president of the Republic landed at the Yaoundé International Airport, that is how there was quietness everywhere. That is why when he's coming back with this,
before I take the mic from
saw it. The president of the Republic at the 20th May Boulevard.
And since then, have you seen him again?
He stood up.
Where is he now?
John Niba, please.
Since May up to today, where is Paul Biya?
John Niba, please.
Where is Paul Biya?
Before I take the mic from you,
we are Cameroonians who have the right to see him.
John Niba, please. Yakubu, before I take the mic from you, when you look at the elements highlighted by Akire Muna in his petition, is it wrong because it is coming from Akire Muna, whereas it ought to come from maybe the National Assembly, or it is wrong, all the elements that he highlighted are wrong and faulty?
The elements he highlighted are wrong and faulty because they report the country. There is no legal disposition that has been that has not been respected by President Pobia since he was elected in 2018. That is why even when people were other people were misleading Cameroonians, saying that there is an article preventing the head of state to spend more than 42. When the time arrived, they told them that okay, take the constitution and show us the number of days that has been defined. People were confused. That is why.
So can you stay away from your job site for 42 days?
Many people are politicking and bringing out fake information and misleading Cameroonians in certain things.
Will you allow,
please, John Niba, please.
There is no legal article that has been that has not been respected by the President of the Republic since he took
Will you allow your employee to escape for 42 days without any explanation?
Before we move out from this,
no permission?
Mr. John Niba,
the powers of the president of the
please
permit him to be
Lionel has the mic.
We have ministers.
Gentlemen, please.
We have ministers to replace the president.
Gentlemen, please.
Doing other duties.
Gentlemen,
the
please.
president takes salary for escaping.
I will be forced outside for Mr. John Niba and Yakubu, I will be forced to cut your mics for now if you insist, please. Lionel has the mic. How does the SDF plan to navigate all this confusion that you say is lingering in the air?
When we were planning, when we came out of the 2018 election, we tried to look into what did not go, what went wrong, and what was went on well. Okay. And one of the things was that we focused on distraction more than working on our target to reach our target. So this time around, we put the distraction aside and focus on the program, the projects, and what we are proposing for change in Cameroon. And the first thing that we are saying that will make Cameroon stand tall will be to change the form of the state. That's the first thing. And when it is done, we think development will come. All this frustration that you are seeing, all this distraction and everything is because people are not satisfied with the form of governance. And because people are not satisfied with the development around them. If today people are satisfied, you will not see 12 candidates going in for the presidency. Okay. People, if you have a form of government where power is being given to the people, where the mayors are the people defining the development policies in their councils, you will see how people will rush to go and be mayors. No, sir. Please. No, sir. Please. So the centralized form of government that is being used now can never make Cameroon big.
Okay. Gentlemen, we are forced to put a cap on this very topic for now as we dive into our next topic. It is interrelated, so you will still have your time to make your point, Mr. John Niba. Let's take this report of the G20 declaration yesterday on their support to President Paul Biya.
Just like in 2018, the G20 this August 22nd declared their endless support for President Paul Biya, CPDM candidates for the October 12 presidential election.
And following the realization of many developmental projects, economic and social improvement, the resolution of the Nozo, Boko Haram conflicts, among others, we of the G20 and 15 more political parties has today declared to throw our support to His Excellency President Paul Biya for his re-election come October 2025.
The leaders of the 15 new political parties that have joined the drumming of the Biya support say the incumbent president remains the only man for the country's top job.
In the context of Central Africa with CEMAC, West Africa, I think that our country needs today the men of experience, a man who can guarantee us the stability and peace. And amongst those 12 candidates, these 11 candidates of opposition, I think that there is no one able to guarantee us this stability and peace. So consequently, I think that my choice is an objective choice, because today we think that the experience, the man of experience, the man of the moment, the right man at the right place for this candidacy is Mr. Biya.
Bapolipot, Jean de Dieu Momo and other leaders of the movement emphasize that the name remains G20 no matter how many parties it harbors, because it is a conviction not based on numbers. The G20 announces a heavy deployment on the field in the days ahead to woo voters for President Paul Biya.
It is rather unfortunate that the member of the G20 that we are waiting for is yet to be on set. We don't know what is keeping him. Yakubu, was it a kind of a very peaceful night yesterday, given that you see a lot of political parties rallying behind your candidate?
Yeah, before answering your question, I would like to tell our televiewers that we have seen the type of civil society that Mr. John Neighbor is representing here on the platform, instead of being balanced, because normally when you are from the civil society, you have to observe. You are not a member because you are not taking part.
Which party am I defending here? Can you say it?
You have to stand as an analyst, analyze a balanced analysis, give all a balanced analysis. But since
from what I've said, can you tell me my political party?
Please.
Since he came here, we have clearly
civil society
seen that
means he has the eye of Cameroonians.
Yeah, he has the eyes of Cameroonians for opposition.
No, not for opposition.
Because it is clear.
Certain things.
Okay.
Did I say any lie? Have you had a Congress for 10 years?
Let me come back now to the analysis, the question you were asking.
That declaration.
Yeah, the declaration, and as many other associations has been doing from north, in the far north, we have seen, even in Fomban, we have seen in all the other countries, many other parts, we have seen association, young students, traditional rulers, and yesterday again, we have seen these are more than 35 political parties that came together, leaders that came together in order to support the President of the Republic, because even if the ancestors are with a candidate, the youth,
which ancestors? Which ancestors?
Please.
More than half, the majority of our traditional rulers called the population to vote for President Paul Biya. We saw them at the Unity Palace. We saw them, all the Lamidas are with the Lamidos are with the President of the Republic.
Was that the aim of their visit?
Associations, we saw associations, we saw students, and today we are seeing other opposition political parties, leaders that are joining to. It means that any normal Cameroonian, any objective citizen, we really understand that President Biya is the only credible and is the only candidate that is out, that unanimously is supported by Cameroonians in all the villages, in all the 365 subdivisions we have in our country. That is why yesterday it was with a lot of joy, and I was really glad to see this type of declaration from these leaders.
Okay. Lionel, I'm coming to you. Mr. John Neva, let's stick to the declaration by Ben's Enobate before we shall get to the new members that have joined the declaration. Let's stick first to the declaration, please.
I don't know what is the declaration saying again.
That once again they are renewing their confidence in President Paul Biya.
You mean the joker who spoke?
And he has given the spokesperson gave the reason why
you told me that. You told me that the first topic was a little bit related. Please give me 30 seconds to say that my brother seated there and defending somebody who boycotted his job for 42 days without a permission letter and without any explanation, and he received salary. President Paul Biya took salary that month because he was outside for 42 days, means that he took his salary without working. Nobody, please.
He was out,
my brother.
He was even abroad.
When you were saying, I listened.
I'm balancing the question. When I was talking, you interrupted.
Yakubu, please.
When you were saying it, I listened.
Yes, please, Johnny.
There was no
we don't have much time, please.
There was no government. I know. And we have asked your patron to add time. He doesn't want to add.
We are working on that.
There was no government communication as to what President Paul to abandon his job for 42 days.
Do you know
that's the first question? Why do I not know? Because it was known. Because if not, there's a spokesperson that is paid with taxpayers' money. They are supposed to clarify us.
Mr.
We are the citizens. We must know.
Mr. John Neba, let's
stick to
now. The G20, please.
Mr. Issa Chiruma, who was minister, Rene Saji, who is still there, Ngongo, and even Famandongo, they have not seen President Paul Biya. That's why somebody was talking about 50-50 and another person was talking about 100%. They don't even know. You, small like you are, you claim you know where President Paul Biya is and what he's doing. If minister, please, if the ministers are confused, if Minister Rene Emmanuel Saji,
and you are saying
spokesperson,
if Minister Rene Emmanuel Saji, the spokesperson that is paid with taxpayers' money, is confused, Minister Famandongo is confused. Issa Chiruma says he has been minister for 10 years. He has not been able to meet with President Paul Biya. That is why he left the union. You, small like you, do you know where what do you want to defend?
Mr. Johnny Valet.
Now, let me go back to your question and talk about these jokers. Normally, the CPDM, if the CPDM was honest, luckily enough, they are not honest. They will drive people like Celestine Germain because they are coming to, they are beggars. Celestin Jammeh has nothing to add. And Celestin Jammeh represents other hungry people who don't have any conviction and they don't have any morals. Those are paupers. That is the real word to be used, because they cannot change Cameroonian. Celestin Jammeh has been migrating from SDF to CRM now. He should have just joined. He created his own party,
his party APA,
and call it MAPA or APA, because he wanted his own part. And since he saw that through that his own party, he did not even have the 30 million to pay his caution, he could not do anything. He's running to go and hide behind the CPDM to continue to feed fat on the sweat of Cameroonians. I think they should drive some of the people from the G whatever thing. They don't have any following. Now, for people like Minister Jean de Dieu Momo, those ones, we only allowed them for history to judge them, because those are people who are going down to the dustbins of history. For those who know him, we have seen him. He was also as vocal and a serious opposition, but he has ended. Now that he's eating, he's preaching and saying that President Pobia brought peace and whatever thing. We would have loved that it should be like that. We are not even refusing. But let me tell you, you should be honest enough to openly tell people like Nelson Mandela, like Joe Biden, that my strength have failed me. Let me allow to another person. Because there are big brains in the CPDM who
that is if you feel that your strength
not to see that the president, his strengths have failed him.
Lionel?
You know, Benz, I'll take Benz, the spokesperson.
Yes. I
met Benz when we were trying to put in place the National Youth Council, and he played a very bad role, and Anglophones will never forget him. We will never forgive him about that. He organized consultations in order to make sure that Francophones should take over, whereas candidates from the Northwest were at the forefront and had that advantage to take the first mandate. But nevertheless, we did our best for the second mandate to come to the Northwest. The second person is Tita Fon, who is my very big brother, father from the village. We are from the same village.
Yeah.
And we know what happened between him and Kawala. So they are only merchants. What they do is business. They try to see how to position their tax and see. Jean de Dieu Momo, the same thing. He's looking for how to survive and how to feed the family. Is he still hungry? No, he used to be, but now he's not hungry anymore.
Okay.
We used to see him trek kilometers and come here with sweat in this your studio with sweat all over. Now he is privileged to be in a Prado. I can cite all of them, and you see Bapolipot. Let me not forget about him, because that one, our ancestors, Cameroonian ancestors, the blood of those who died for UPC will climb in his head, and you know what it means. All of them. What if you see anybody going closer to that place,
who are calling the population to vote for
talking about G20?
Please, in the declaration we heard Eno said one of the reasons they are throwing their weight behind Paul is that he has managed the Anglophone crisis so well that everything is okay. You of the CPDM, is that the lens which you see the management of the Anglophone crisis to date?
No, we anyway. They know they have their reasons, but us, we believe that the way the crisis was managed, it was really managed in a good way, even though it was managed. Why am I saying
was?
Wait, say was. Is it over?
Wait. I'm saying that since it began.
Okay.
Yes, the way he has been managed. Because we've seen in other countries where maybe we have outbreaks of secession wars and etc. We saw the way the war of secession was treated in Nigeria with the Biafran war, where it was an open war, open conflict. We even saw in Ethiopia.
So is this one a close war?
We even saw in Ethiopia. But when we saw the way the president of the
one in Cameroon a close war, even Eritrea and Ethiopia is more better than us here.
We saw the way it was managed by the president of the republic. There was a grand national dialogue. There is a DDR center that has been put in place. There is a form of, even though the only thing the government, the only thing the president of the republic refused was maybe to
the form of the state to change.
He's doubting whether he refused. Okay. Maybe. He's doubting.
The only thing the President of the Republic refused was the form of the state. And I believe
Let me remind you that US, President Bobia changed the form of the state when he came to power.
Even in the US, no country in the
when
world
President Bobia came to power, Cameroon had 7 regions. He sent them up to 10. He modified the form of the state. He has no monopoly over the form of the state because what Ahidjo left is not what he has today.
Mr. John Niba, I interviewed Celestine Jammeh at Elekam when they were still struggling to deposit their files. And he told us that he wants to be candidate because Biya has failed.
And he wants to challenge him.
Biya has failed to maybe manage the country well for over 43 years. And he sees himself as the only man for that job. Yesterday he says Biya again is the only person
he should be arrested
for that job.
He should be arrested.
How do you handle such contradictions and all that?
Mr. Hyson, we in politics is a dynamic game. Politics is dynamic. That is why you saw somebody like Chiroma. Yesterday he was with.
That's not dynamism.
Yesterday he was a minister.
Why not put dynamism and maybe put lies? Because that will fit in better.
Ask a question, I'm giving an answer. Why
no, I cannot take the word dynamic. You cannot be dynamic when the facts.
I'm justifying my dynamic. The word I call dynamic.
You cannot be dynamic when the facts are still the same. Please.
You are the moderator. You don't have to interrupt me when you ask me a question. What I'm saying is that yesterday you asked the question about Celestine Jammeh. I'm taking the same example with Chiroma.
Okay.
Today people are clapping up and down. Chiroma has been minister for more than 27 years.
Okay.
And today he's saying that the government is Satan and that is what today he says.
Okay, thank you.
He can better tell us
so
because
much.
He was inside.
Lionel, in less than 10 seconds, your last word, please.
I want to thank Cameroonians that are focused on the upcoming elections and to call them not to look at all these distractions that are going on. We are focused on the objectives, and the objective is A to D.
John Niba, less than 10 seconds.
I want to tell Cameroonians that now, the objective now, to be more, should be left there because they are always being used to fraud.
Okay.
So make sure you collect all and listen to instruction. I call on the men of God, the clergy, the people of other denominations to join their voices to the Catholic